Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the KT Adventures, and today we're back with another reaction video where we react to some of the biggest, tallest, fastest, craziest coasters and rides in the world. But today we're going to be something a little bit different. Usually we just look at coasters, but today we're going to be looking at dark rides. And not just dark rides, we're going to be looking at motion simulators in particular. So what is a dark ride? If you don't already know, it's basically any ride that's indoors in the dark. I think that's what the definition will be for it anyway. And what's a motion simulator? Well, it's basically anything that simulates motion. So it's usually something pretty fast, like, you know, a car or something that flies. But yeah, that's what we're going to be looking at today. So this is a video by Coaster Studios, quite a popular channel. We've got 170,000 subscribers. I have heard of them before. And the video is the world's best dark rides Part 1 motion simulators. So if there's different parts, I'll probably do them in a future video. But yeah, I'm looking forward to looking at these motion simulators. I believe there are some on this list that I have been on. So I'll let you know my thoughts on these different rides if I have been on them myself. But yeah, let's get straight on into it. But first, if you do enjoy watching this video, make sure to hit that like button. And if you are new to the channel and you're feeling a little bit extra cheeky, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single thing. Because we make plenty of theme park related videos here at the KD Adventures, which you don't want to miss. Also, before we get started, the other day me and Jesse celebrated our 1-year anniversary here at the KD Adventures, and to celebrate that we released a brand new print, our first ever print, which you can pick up at thekdadventures.bigcartel.com. So yeah, if you want to go pick one of those up, I'll leave a link down in the description below. But yeah, let's get straight on into it. Here is the world's best dark rides, motion simulators. Let's go.
This is part 1 of a 2-part series where we will be exploring the best dark rides around the world. For this one, we'll be looking at motion-based simulator attractions. This is typically a screen-based ride in which the vehicle stays in place but moves you around in some sort of way.
That was a better definition of a motion simulator. There we go. That was a lot better, wasn't it?
They often have no practical effects, and through the use of technology, make you feel like you are actually moving even though you are on the ride. That all being said, let's kick things off with Battle for Ire at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. This used to be formerly Europe in the Air, or the Soarin' knockoff, but they recently gave it the VR experience, and they did a great job with world building, where the general story is you are going to go help reclaim the heart of Ire that has been stolen, and you're going to encounter fairies, dragons, lots of different creatures. And it's actually neat because if you choose not to wear the VR goggles, you still can experience that because they do have a screen in place for those who might not want to do that.
That's good. I like that idea. Personally, I'm not a big fan of VR, especially on roller coasters. VR on coasters is a bad idea. It never goes to plan. For example, Kraken at SeaWorld's Orlando. Also, it was at Alton Towers. We had the what was it, Galactica. We had that for a little while. It never lasts long at all, VR. But something like this, I can see how VR would work, but it kind of ruins the experience. I like being in a giant room, having that screen in front of you. But yeah, it looks okay. It looks okay. I'm glad they have got that option there where you can either choose to wear the VR or you can just experience how it normally should be with the screen. So that's really good.
It's not a bad ride, but I wouldn't say it's spectacular either, but it was good enough to make this video. Coming up at number 9 is a...
Oh. That sounds alright. That sounds alright. It seems like one of those rides that you just go on. It's not like one of the best rides out there, but it's okay. Yeah. That sounds alright.
Classic. It is Star Tours at the Disney parks. And what I love about this is that it's interchangeable. They have so many different plug-and-play experiences where each time you can go to a different world within the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, that is one of the best things about Star Tours. I've been on the one in Disney World, Hollywood Studios, and I've also been on the one at Disneyland Paris. And both of them, really good ride. They update it. They update it all the time, and you get different endings, so you can rewrite. It's a very rewritable ride. So yeah, it's a great ride. It's a great ride, and even though you've got Galaxy's Edge now, how you've got Smuggler's Run, and also Rise of Resistance, it's still a brilliant ride. I think with Hollywood Studios now there is quite a lot of rides that I would prioritize over going on to Star Tours. But if I was at Disneyland Paris, it's definitely a ride I'd go on because it is very fun. Never usually has a long wait either, so that's another bonus. But yeah, I love Star Tours. It's great.
One of the highlights of my life was being pinpointed as the rebel spy and having my picture shown on the screen for every passenger to see. It was hilarious. At number 8, we have Despicable Me Minion Mayhem at the Universal Parks.
I think Minion Mayhem is the only ride at Universal Studios that I have not been on. The main reason is I do not like the Minions. I don't like them at all. I don't see the appeal. So I can just imagine I'd find this ride very annoying. I'm trying to remember what was there before. I think it was a Nickelodeon. Was it a Jimmy Neutron? That was good. I enjoyed that one. But yeah, Despicable Me is not for me. Yeah. So I would give this ride a miss, and I have given this ride a miss. So yeah, I can't really give my actual thoughts on it. But if it involves Minions, then it's already gets a no from me.
And even though I personally prefer the Star Wars theme to the Despicable Me Minion theme, this is a bit more of a modern attraction. I really like the technology that they use for it. Plus, it's just a whole lot of fun. I love the characters from the movie. It's got a great queue, and it's one of those experiences that you get off and you just have a smile on your face.
I will say that the queue does look quite good. From this video and from previous videos that I've seen, the queue looks quite good. It looks quite entertaining. So I'll give it that. I will give it that. And also from like videos that I've seen of the ride, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, if you like Despicable Me, if you like the Minions, then I'd imagine you'd find this ride fun. But for me, it's not for me.
Because it's just a lot of fun. Great for everyone in the family. And number 7, I know people are going to give me some flack for this. I have Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon.
He's not wrong there. He's not wrong there. That is a very questionable opinion there. Number 7, Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon. I have been on that ride. I'm not going to say it's the worst ride, especially at Universal Studios. It's definitely not the best, but it's not great. I mean, it 100% beats Fast and Furious, and it also beats Kong. I mean, it's okay. I wouldn't wait ages for this ride. If it had a short wait, I might just go on there just to kill some time if there's nothing else to do. But yeah. I remember the seats being really uncomfortable as well. I've only been on it once. And I can remember it wasn't that comfortable.
Over Despicable Me? Well, not gonna lie, I'm a big fan of Jimmy Fallon and The Tonight Show. I think they did a great job embodying what his show is about.
Also, who doesn't love Jimmy Fallon? That's another reason. So I can see why I put him at number 7 there.
And I think the ride is actually better than people give it credit for. Yeah, it's goofy and ridiculous at times, but I think it's a fun little attraction. It's got a fantastic queue.
Yeah, I will give it that actually. I think with the whole theme of it, I think that's what like Jimmy Fallon is. It's just goofy, isn't it? That's what it's meant to be. And also that pre-show thingy that you get before you go on the ride, I think that's a brilliant idea. As I said, I've only been on it once, so I'm trying to remember everything. But I believe you get given a different colour. And also you have the entertainment, which you can see now. And also you've got the mascot. I don't know what the mascot's name is, but I remember he's lurking around in that queue area. So it's really good. It's a good experience, like a experience throughout, from the queuing to the actual ride itself. So yeah, it does deserve a spot on this list, I think. Yeah.
Just barely missing the top 5 is a classic. It's Soarin', specifically Soarin' over California as opposed to Soarin' around the world. I've yet...
Okay, so I can only give my opinions on Soarin' at Epcot. I can't give my opinion on Soarin' at Disney's California Adventure. But yeah, this one definitely deserves a spot, doesn't it? How can Soarin' not be on this list?
to actually experience the Soarin' at Epcot, so for this I am only referring to the Soarin' that is located at Disney's California Adventure. And this is what is considered the staple of the flying theaters. It's what inspired many others, and that's why it's only coming in at number 6, because even though it was the original, some rides have come around and actually done a better version of it. Like, one of the common complaints you get with this ride is, oh, I can see the feet from the people above me, which is a valid concern, and luckily some rides have fixed that. But you can't deny that this is a true classic and one of those can't miss rides at Disney's California.
Yeah, 100%. Soarin' is a brilliant ride. It's one I cannot miss when going to Epcot. In fact, I'd go out there and say it's the best ride at Epcot. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant ride. I just love everything about it. With the Flying Theatre Simulator, it was one of the first of its kind, so it made way for some of the other attractions that you can find across the world, and also at the other Disney parks. One in particular, which I'm guessing is going to be later on in this video, I can imagine anyway. So yeah, it's a great ride. I love Soarin'. Soarin' is a class ride. Love it. Right, number 5, we've got Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Have not been on this one yet. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be there in March to experience this. But yeah, from all the different POVs and stuff, I can see why it's at number 5.
And number 5 is Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. And not gonna lie, this ride can be a hit or miss for a lot of people. What I like about it is it's very re-rideable because you have 3 different positions that you can ride in, with of course pilot being the main one you want to get. And when you're flying the Millennium Falcon, it is a really awesome experience.
Yeah, I can see why this one can be a hit and miss. It's great how you can have the 3 different positions on there. So I think that's really good, but I feel like this ride would only be good if you're a fan of Star Wars, mainly because you're flying the Millennium Falcon. Like, nothing can beat that if you're a Star Wars fan. But if you're not a fan of Star Wars, then, well, one, you're crazy, but also I can see why you wouldn't enjoy this ride as much. I guess you need to know a bit more about the films to enjoy it, but it's still a fun ride. I can still imagine you enjoy it even if you don't like Star Wars. But yeah, I can see why it is a bit of a hit and miss.
Plus, it has a phenomenal queue. I mean, you enter right outside the freaking Millennium Falcon, for Pete's sake. I know a lot of people wish it had some other characters involved other than Hondo Ohnaka, but that is a great Hondo animatronic, you gotta admit. And Disney has said it's possible to swap out the animation with something else, so maybe one day we'll get more than one variation of the ride experience.
Yeah. That animatronic is incredible. It's one of the best animatronics I've ever seen. And also, I can see them doing that. I can see them bringing in different endings and stuff like they've done with Star Tours. Because, yeah, it'd make it even more of a re-rideable ride. So, yeah, definitely deserves a spot on this list.
At number 4, we have the Voletarium at Europa Park. To me, the Voletarium feels like it has all the modern day upgrades that you wish Soarin' had, because it is a bit of a dated attraction. The Voletarium has the best visuals, spectacular technology behind it, and it even has those wonderful smells that you can experience as they're showing various scenes as you go throughout the ride.
Yeah, so I have heard of this ride before. I've never been to Europa Park. It's definitely one that's on my bucket list to go to. It's got some great rides there, but I have heard of that one, and I've heard great things about it. I've heard well, just as you say, it's pretty much like Soarin', but it's a little bit better. So it'd be very interesting to go on that. Hopefully, sometime in the near future, I'll be able to go on there. But yeah, look, it looks really good from what I've seen anyway. So what we've got number 3 is Fuji Airways. Ooh.
Unconventional choice, but is actually Fuji Airways at Fuji Q Highland. And like the Voletarium, this is another flying theater, and it was really well done. I particularly loved this attraction because of the quirky theme, the fact that it sticks to Japan and Mount Fuji as the subject matter, and they even have a fun moment where they make you feel like the ride actually takes you upside down through a corkscrew-like element on a flying theater.
That sounds very interesting. I've never heard of that one before, never seen any footage from it, so I really can't say much about it. But from what he was saying, it sounds very interesting. Another flying theatre. You gotta love a flying theatre. They're great. So that's another one I'd love to experience at some point. But yeah, sounds good. That one sounds really good. But number 2, we've got Flight of Passage, which is a ride that I have been on, and yeah, I can definitely see why this one is at number 2. In fact, I don't know what's at number 1. So we'll find out. But Flight of Passage, it's an incredible ride. incredible ride. Some think it's a little, well, Jessie, she thinks it's a little bit overrated. I can see where they're coming from with that. But to me, it's incredible. It's amazing. It is a simulator done perfectly. Perfectly. It's not just the visuals; it's also the sense as well. Incredible. It just makes you feel like you're actually there, and that's what a good simulator does, really, doesn't it? That's what you need. That is what you need from a simulator. It needs to make you feel like you're actually there, riding on the back of a Banshee. So yeah, Flight of Passage, it definitely deserves a spot. But let's have a look more into it.
At the number 2 spot, we have Flight of Passage at Disney's Animal Kingdom, and I am a big fan of this attraction. It just puts a smile on my face. I just feel happy and positive walking off of it. This is probably the most modern version of the Flying Theater, and it arguably does it the best.
Yeah, it's not just the ride itself either. I mean, the actual ride itself is incredible. As I said earlier with Soarin', this was the other ride that uses a flying theatre, and it uses it perfectly. It is incredible. You can't, well, from when I've been on it anyway, I've never been able to notice anyone around, even though you're in a theatre. It's just incredible. An incredible ride. I can't hype it up enough. Not only is it the ride that makes Flight of Passage incredible, it's also the queue line. I mean, the queue line is out of this world. It's just full of insane scenery. It just literally makes you feel like you're in Pandora. It's amazing. It's amazing. I can't hype the ride up enough.
And taking the number 1 spot is a ride that you either
Darren Brown's Ghost Train is at number 1. Right, okay. So I've got before I play this, there's got a few thoughts on this. This one, this doesn't beat Flight of Passage. I need to point out first, Darren Brown is one of my favourite people on the planet. Absolutely incredible. I love Darren Brown, but the rides, it's definitely hit and miss though. I can see why some people like it, but for me, it's a no, mainly because of the VR. I've only been on it once and I didn't enjoy it.
either love it or you hate it. I loved it. It's Darren Brown's Ghost Train at Thorpe Park. And I actually had a hard time deciding whether I considered this a simulator because it is so different. It is very weird. And I am not going to be discussing any spoilers in this video. So
yeah, I'll say that. It's difficult to even class that as a simulator because it's mainly just an experience because you've got different elements to it. From when I went on it anyway, there's a few different elements. I don't know if it's changed since I've been on it. But yeah. Like, I can see why it's on this list, but it definitely doesn't deserve a spot at number one in my opinion.
So this is really one of those things where you have to have ridden it to really understand what I'm getting at here. But in a lot of ways, it does feel like a simulator as opposed to a true traditional dark ride like the ones I'll be discussing in the next video. But this ride absolutely blew my mind when I rode it. I did not know what to expect. I had not heard any spoilers. It absolutely scared the crap out of me and it left me floored. It was my favorite ride at Thorpe Park. All of the effects were working for me, and I can understand if you have some technical issues that could really ruin the ride experience, but if you get a good run on this thing, man, it is unbelievable.
That could be a good point. I mean, when I went on it, it wasn't, I think one of the main issues that I had was the VR headset. I mean, the visuals were fine. It was mainly the sound. It's like these little pads that went over my ear. I don't know if they've changed now, but it wasn't great. Like, I could barely hear anything. So yeah, I'm guessing if you have technical issues, that's obviously going to ruin your experience. But if you go on there and you have everything's working perfectly, I can't remember if this one had like scare actors in there. I think it definitely had actors in there. If they're on top point, then obviously that's going to make the experience better as well. But yeah.
It truly is like nothing else I have ever ridden in the entire world, which is why I've put it at number 1 for my top 10 dark ride simulator list. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree with.
And there we have it. That is the top 10 motion simulators in the world. A great video. I really enjoyed that actually, and it's great to look back on some of my favourite simulators that I've been on. Some of them are a little bit questionable, but overall they're all really good, all really good in their own way. So yeah, there we have it. Let me know down in the comments below what your favourite motion simulators are in the world, any that were missed out on this list, and also go check out the actual video itself, and I'll leave a link in the description down below so you can check this video out. But yeah, that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'll be doing some more reaction videos very soon. I've got one in mind which I'm quite excited to do with Jesse as well, so stay tuned for that. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.